But people need to hear the whole thing.
Just gonna hopefully pull up when she gets there. Just want to stand by with her while he evaluates her. That's it.
Okay, that's fine. So you want us to stand by?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just don't want her to take off. She's.
looking at the legal scopes.
Huh?
Takes off, she takes off. Right?
Well, he's gonna bake her out.
Big rack paper.
He's gonna have.
all that.
He's there. He's the doctor. He's baker acting her.
How long or?
She's on her way. She should be. She just got off 595, so I'm waiting for her car to drive. She's driving a Mercedes, so I'm waiting for her to drive by. And
I say, she's the CEO of Rock Nation. She paid you. He's like, all doctors get paid. I said,
And I can't request another doctor since you were called by my mother?
Hey, listen,
I'm just asking.
any doctor that you go to, you have to pay money to, right?
I'd rather pay.
If you go to an OBGYN, you have to pay the money.
That's fine.
No
I
doctor
can
sees
pay
you
any
free.
doctor. I don't like the conflict of interest.
and I'm telling the police, do you not hear this?
They're here for the
Prevent me from making a living.
doctor wants to buy. Yeah.
Sir, I have a psychologist in the call right now. I am perfectly fine. So do you want to speak to my doctor so you can say I'm
Hey, airport deputy looking for, I have both of those last names, Sprout.
Well, I have my doctor because... Okay, well, I have a psychologist that I think for the last 6 years who can tell you I have had totally fine. And there's nothing against me. I'll call her right now. And I think the same. So can you speak to my doctor that I have been with so that you can bother and that's fine? Oh, he owns the gate on the other side.
Who are you guys, sorry? Who are you guys?
So we're a mobile crisis team working with Dr. Boba from Howard Hospital.
Okay,
So we
got
go
it.
out here, routinely conduct these mobile crisis things. What the goal is right now, he's going to pay for active. We're going to transport her. If she doesn't,
Sounds good.
then we have to work on plan B. Most often, people opt to go with us, so we either get handcuffed and put in the car. You guys probably transport the hot and more anyways, but usually our closest receiving facility is not.
To the library. No, she wants to speak to the police officer.
I call my doctor, who I was, started with grief counseling, but seeing once a month, like for life and stuff like that, and whatever. And I tell her, this is what's happening. She talks to him. That's why you see him walking away, and I'm following him. Police are like, you need to stay here. I'm like, why? Like, why do I need to stay with you? Like, I'm trying to listen to what he's saying. And she's telling him she doesn't meet criteria. She's never been suicidal. I've been seeing her for the last 3 years. She doesn't have a mental illness. She's not on drugs. And he's like, what you guys don't hear is he says, come on, you gotta help me here. The mom wants me to get this done. You gotta help me here. She's like, I'm not helping you.
I'm not. He's a doctor.
Yeah,
That's
but
not-
she's my
ma'am,
doctor.
I'm not a doctor. He is.
Okay, but you're saying you're going to detain me.
Ma'am, allow him to do his job so we can do this the easy way. Please let him speak.
Give me 1 second.
Can
I ask you
So the goal is for you guys
Yes.
to stand.
Legally, I have no history of any mental illness, so why can't I go?
Ma'am, I'm not a doctor. I've never
Okay,
met you
but
in my
they're
life.
saying
Let
that,
him do his
that I will
job.
go to jail if I don't go with
We
you.
didn't say anything about
Oh, so I
about
can
jail.
go home?
No,
Why?
at the end, you're gonna go to a hospital and you're gonna get checked
I
out.
don't have to go to any hospital. I have a doctor. I have
Okay,
no
let the
history,
doctor
right?
speak then. Give it a second. Wait up. I don't know you.
Crazy. Oh my goodness. Is there some type of, like, how is this possible?
Ma'am, you're asking 100 questions that I don't have the answers to. Relax.
So legally, I can't go home.
No, you
No.
cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker active.
How am I being Baker active?
If the
By the way-
doctor, if the doctor deems that,
He's not my doctor. He's never seen me in my life.
okay.
That's not legal. How is that possible?
That's the mobile crisis unit. They can do that.
This is Dr. Bobar, Daniel Bobar, the chief of Memorial Regional Hospital, lying, saying that he comes back and he tells the police, oh, the doctor said she only knows the information that Demoree tells her, but Demoree doesn't allow her to speak to anybody else. Like insinuating that my doctor said to do it. But I tell the police, talk to my doctor. Please talk to her. They refuse to talk to her. They said, he's a doctor.
What's the word, sir?
We're gonna take her. I have 3 different collateral sources of information that say that she's been acting psychotic, that she threatened to overdose yesterday. The psychologist is admitting to me that the only information that she has is from her, because she will not allow the psychologist to speak to anyone else.
Let the record reflect they didn't ID Dr. Bobar, they didn't ID James Fondo, they didn't ID Jessica Cady, and they didn't ID Stephen Cady. And then they lie. Jessica Cady, Stephen Cady, and James Fondo all work together and own a company called Sig9, which is a private investigation company and security company.
Sig9, or Security Investigations Group, is owned by James Fondo, Steve Cady, and Jessica Cady. Steve Cady was a contracted security provider and consultant to the Miami Dolphins, and Jessica Cady has 20 years experience in the security industry. Mr. Fondo once supervised the Broward County Sheriff's Office Homeland Security Unit, and he was also involved in an incident that was caught on the TV show Cops, where Fondo was filmed dropping a bag of controlled substances, allegedly, suggesting that he planted evidence. This led to an internal affairs perjury investigation. Fondo testified he saw 4 men huddled around a bench in Dania Beach. He claimed he saw them preparing the controlled substances for distribution, and he saw one of them drop a plastic bag. As he made the arrest, Fondo was being tailed by a cameraman from the TV show Cops, which was filming its first season in Broward County. The cameraman filmed Fondo dropping the bag. The clip was used as evidence in the trial, and charges were dropped for 3 of the 4 men. Another incident in 1989 where Fondo was involved in a separate false arrest case. Fondo signed an affidavit claiming a man purchased a controlled substance in the reverse sting operation. Turns out, the man was riding on a Greyhound bus at the same time. The case was settled out of court, and the department paid the man $35,000.
They lie and they tell police that they are there as a mobile crisis unit for Memorial Hospital to assist Dr. Bobar in transporting me. Memorial Hospital does not have a mobile crisis unit. Those investigators admit on body camera that they planted a tracker on my car and tracked me there to Dania Beach.
Well, I'm saying she's heading over here right now.
Pinging her or?
Yes, they have a GPS on her.
Okay.
So she should be driving by any minute.
And conspired to abduct me in a vehicle with Dr. Bobar, and police didn't ID not one person, didn't review any paperwork because there was no paperwork. They didn't verify anything. They just went with what this man was saying.
The doctor's made a determination. He wants to take you in for evaluation, right? You can come with me and the young lady right there. You won't be restrained. You won't be handcuffed. We'll drive you to the hospital. We'll take the dog with you. We can make arrangements when you get to the hospital. As an older family member of yours, you can turn the dog over to her or anybody you say, right?
She just told me that I don't have, that you're doing an evaluation. If you see that what she sees, that I'm not a harm to myself, that I can go home today.
Okay, she can petition the court otherwise. Okay?
That's right.
Today you're
So
not.
I can go home today,
We
correct?
can go to the hospital.
You're gonna go to the hospital
If-
first.
If the evaluation turns out fine, then I can discharge.
But we
You
gotta,
can discharge me.
we gotta
Yeah.
get started.
James Fondo says, just ask your sergeant, ask your chief, like name dropping. Call them if you have any questions. I used to work at Broward Sheriff's Office.
Appreciate you guys' time.
Yeah, of course.
Let the chief know, would you?
Huh?
Let the chief know, would you?
What's that?
Let the chief know, would you?
What district were you in before?
All over.
All over.
That's an original Dania policeman you're looking at there, because he actually was a Dania cop before both you guys were born.
Before you were born.
That's what I said, before you were born. I used to go to Tugboat Andy's, get drunk every Sunday night.
Okay. You guys ex law enforcement too?
Yeah.
Oh, all you guys? Oh, no,
I was-
okay.
Basically showing exactly what we know to be true. Desiree Perez, Rock Nation, made phone calls to police officers in Broward Sheriff's Office, sergeants, higher up chiefs, to orchestrate my false arrest or detainment or commitment and my abduction. And that's all on body worn camera.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so then you're taken in, you have to go through intake, and they're testing you to see if what you're being held there for is legitimate. And you're like, please test me. I remember listening to you say that at some point.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. This is the part I get a little bit emotional because
I understand. Take your time.
this is the part that so he takes me to the intake room by himself. Like there's no nurse with me. So he comes, closes the door, and I'm like, I need another doctor. He's being bought. My mom's the CEO of Rock Nation. I'm begging. And they're like, because he has a Baker Act form and he's the one who committed you, he has to be the doctor to assess you. And I'm like, well, I need to speak to whoever's in charge. Like Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood, Florida is a big hospital. You guys have to have somebody who can come. And I'm telling you, this guy was bought. It's a conflict of interest. I don't want him to assess me. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. He comes into the room, closes the door. He pulls his phone out and he says, what is this video? And he plays the video from January 16, 2022. He goes, your mother sent me this. And so I go, I do not have to answer any questions about an alleged domestic violence incident that you're claiming occurred that my mother texted you. Show me the evidence that I'm a danger to myself and show me that an evidence that I'm a drug addict. Why can't you show me? Because you ran my test and you know they're negative. Legally, you need to let me walk out of here because Baker Act, you can't Baker Act somebody for an alleged domestic violence. If that was the case, the whole world would be Baker Acted.
That part.
Let's be real. So, like, you're not going to play me. Now that you show me the phone and the video, I know that you're in communications with my mother in an unethical way. So you need to let me out of here. Oh, well, you might have a mental illness that you're hiding. So we're going to keep you here overnight to make sure you're not performing. I said, what? I told him in that room, I'm going to sue the shit out of you is what's going to happen. I'm going to sue the shit out of you because you are going to keep me here against my will with no evidence. Okay. You want to do that? Okay. Whoa, what's wrong? He goes, you seem like a smart girl. You seem like, that's what he was talking to me. You seem like a smart girl. I go, no, I don't seem like a smart girl. I am smart. And you're being bought by my mother. I didn't receive $1 from your mother. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're not going to get me to come out of character. So I feed into you and Desiree's narrative. I'm not doing that. I said, you're not going to let me go. Okay. You're not going to let me go. And so I then get moved to the, it's like the unit before the psych ward where they medicate people essentially who need it. He orders for me to be medicated with Benadryl, Tylenol, and some other medication that doesn't even go because what originally the diagnosis on the Baker Act was psychosis, hallucinations, and attempted OD.
Oh my God.
That was the first thing on the Baker Act form. Then when I got in there, he added schizophrenia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then when I'm on the floor, you don't send Benadryl to people with schizo. Like,
Yeah.
Benadryl is to make you drowsy and sleepy. That's what he wanted to do, to make me sleepy. So the nurses and the ER doctor, God bless her soul, they were like, your talk screens are clean. What's happening? I tell them the whole story, and they're like, we're not giving you no medicine. I want to put it on the record. I didn't get medicated because the nurses and the other doctors were like, this girl, like something is up. Like they were paging him, calling him. They were documenting, which was, I'll give you the medical records. She's fine. Clear signs. The nurse even called Javon for me. And I could put her name out there. Pam Anderson, nurse Pam Anderson from Memorial Regional Hospital. Salute to you. She showed me. I didn't know the amount of lies. She showed me that the Baker Act was saying extensive drug addiction. And she's like, this makes no sense. Who is your mother? I said, my mother is the CEO of Rock Nation. She's like, oh, now this is making sense. And she's calling Javon. She's like, I'm going to try to help her. So she's putting a paper trail for me. The ER doctor's calling him. He's ignoring people's pages. He's ignoring people's calls. And everybody's like, we don't know what to do, but we're not going to medicate you. I'm in a room with a man who just stabbed 6 people, a heroin addict to my left, and another man who tried to rape somebody and kill himself, and an officer watching all of us. So I'm there, and I'm like preparing myself for what's possibly about to happen when I go up to the psych ward. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, get yourself together, Demoree. You got this. Be strong. Like, I'm talking to the Javon from the nurse's phone. Like, they're trying to get this Dr. Bobar. They're trying to get in touch with people, but nobody comes. Nobody comes. And now I'm being taken to the psych ward. and they're telling me, okay, you should be able to leave tomorrow. Maybe he's just, the maximum that they can keep you in the state of Florida is 72 hours for Baker. You're supposed to be released after 72 hours. That's the max hold. I go into the psych ward. It's men and women. They don't separate you. They strip me of my clothes. I'm in a gown. They take away phones, everything. The nurse there, Nurse Andy, God bless his soul, said, I'm going to put you in a room next to me and the camera so I can watch you, because you can't close the door here and because you have some dangerous people on this floor. So I'm going to look out for you. Because they believed me. They knew, like, this is not right. And then they were telling me that Dr. Bobar had connections to the FBI and had connections to high, powerful people, and that my story didn't seem far-fetched, that he was paid and who my mother was. So they were already like, okay, this girl's telling the truth. So they were trying to look out for me. They told me try not to fall asleep. So now I'm in hospital gown in a floor with men and women.
Some dangerous
place. Like trying to keep myself together, because I'm like, if I cry, it's going to feed into the narrative that I'm crazy. If I yell, it's going to feed into the narrative that I'm crazy. I can't fall asleep because I don't want to get raped in this facility, because a lot of people get sexually assaulted in these places. I didn't sleep for the 3 days that I was there. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't trust the food. The nurse was giving me packaged crackers and forcing me to eat. Nurse Maria, God bless her soul, she was like, listen, eat some crackers, because if he writes on your chart that you're not eating, it's going to feed into the narrative. So just eat some crackers. Like, they were allowing me to use the phones to get an attorney, to call Javon, to like come up with an escape. I was advocating, like, just constantly. I asked to speak to the supervisor of the hospital, the clinical social worker. Nobody could stand up to this Dr. Bobar. So I was stuck there. Another doctor, Dr. W, Dr. Cohen, did a psychiatric evaluation, found me to not be a threat to myself, found me with no diagnosis. She literally just said, patient is here due to Baker Act diagnosis, which Dr. Bobar wrote. But she's like, to me, you don't have this. But because it's a Baker Act, I have to put it, but you don't have that. And she put that in her notes. And so at one point, Dr. Bobar comes into the room, and I asked Nurse Maria to stay as a witness. And he's like, so are you going to admit that you're being abused yet? And I was like, you cannot Baker Act me and have me in here for an alleged DV. You and my mother are working together, and I know you're getting paid. You need to let me go, or you are going to regret this, because I will take legal action. And then he's like, no, we still need to watch you because you could be performing. I'm like, I am not performing. And then he's like, well, what's the rush? If you don't have anything, you can leave. What are you missing out on? You don't work. You don't have a job. That's how I knew he was in communication with my mom, because I forgot when Javon won his case and made bail in January, I was fired by a Iconic Creative Agency with no explanation whatsoever. And I have proof of that. And then they gave me a gag order to try to say you won't receive your paychecks unless you sign this, which means like you can't take legal action or speak out on the company. I was like, I'm not signing nothing. I went 2 months without getting paid. It wasn't until I made a threat to hire a lawyer that they wired me payments that I was owed. But they didn't pay me for 2 months to try to force me to sign a gag order. Liz Frahella and Benny Frahella from Iconic Creative Agency. I want to put that on the record. Obviously, my mom told them to fire me because they thought I wouldn't be able to afford to live or to, help my husband with his legal case and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I got fired 1 week after from Iconic Creative, 1 week after Javon made bail. So just want to put that out.
Just to pull the rug right out from underneath you.
Pull it out. So he tells me, you don't have a job. So I already knew, oh, she told you about Iconic.
How would you know that, sir?
How did she know that I got fired from Iconic if she wasn't in contact with Iconic? So I go, oh, so thanks for proving my point that you and my mom know about Iconic. I go, but at that time, what they didn't know is I already got a job as a social worker for unaccompanied children. So they didn't know that. I already got hired. I was already working there. And so I go, I do have a job. And thanks for confirming that you're in communication with my mom. He's like, I told you I didn't get paid. And then he starts telling me, oh, you think you're smart? You think you're this? Like, let me keep it together. I'm sorry. Like verbally, verbally trying to bring me down and like make me feel inferior when I'm already feeling inferior in this hospital, not sleeping, not eating. I remember like one night I threw up from the hunger and the acid in my stomach. I was cleaning like with my hands, like just clean. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
No, listen to me. Number one, take your time. Number two, you're doing great. Number three, everything that you're telling me, I've experienced myself. So I want you to just remember that God was with you. Your bravery is what got you here. And it's so that you could tell this story, because a lot of people don't want to believe that these things happen to real people. They think they're things that just happen in movies, but this is real life for some of us. So whether or not anyone has told you, and I'm sure people in your life that love you have, we're very proud of you for your bravery. And we thank you for having the courage to share your story.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm like cleaning the bathroom because in my head I'm like, man, if this man sees that I'm throwing up, he's gonna use it as an excuse that I'm sick and I have to stay here longer. So I'm like cleaning so that nobody notices the vomit with my hands and the napkins and trying to hide any evidence that could appear that I'm sick because I don't want him to keep me there longer. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't deserve to be here. Like, I don't know what else to tell you people. Like, and it sounds crazy when you're in a psych ward telling people I'm a social worker. I don't do drugs. My mom is lying because she wants to separate me from her boyfriend. So a lot of people are like, oh, like, you know, she's sick, whatever. But thankfully, like some of the people did believe me in there. And so I'm like trying to like stay together, advocate for myself. And then finally comes the day that I'm supposed to be released. And here comes Dr. Bobar marching in, and he treated me horribly, like talked to me like shit. Like, you don't have a job, you don't have anywhere to go to. Why are you worried? Like bringing me down to get me to react. That's why I was like, you're not gonna get a reaction out of me. You're not. And even Nurse Maria told the supervisor, he spoke to her horribly. She's not making this up. I was in the room. He did it in front of the
bully.
Bobar, the disgusting bully, the abuser, he was verbally abusing me, to be honest with you. So when it's 5 o'clock, which is the time to be released, he comes in and he goes, oh, you're not being released. The judge just signed a marchment order. I was like, what is a marchment? Like, this is the first time I'm learning about I'm like, what is a marchment order? And he's like, it's basically a court order document signed by the judge saying that if you leave here, they can detain you and put you in prison. You're being transferred to a rehabilitation facility for drug addiction.
With no drugs in your system.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm asking for the supervisor. I'm asking for the head of, I'm telling them, can you check if that seal is real? Because how did my mom get a judge to sign a marchment order in 24 hours? Like, and isn't there a due process? Doesn't there have to be a hearing if my tox screens are clean? Like, how are they making this happen? Drug addiction. And I'm reading the affidavit, which I will provide to you. And it's saying that I was stealing prescription drugs from my grandmother. That I was getting high, that Javon was raping me with men, trafficking me, that I had schizophrenia, psychosis, hallucinations, like just a whole bunch of lies. And now they're telling me you're being marchment acted. If you leave, you'll be put under arrest. And so at that point, I'm like, I'm like, what? Where am I going? A rehab facility? Like, what is going on? So then Broward Sheriff's Office comes and they handcuff me and they put me in the back of a car and they take me to Life Skills in Deerfield Beach, which let the record reflect Dr. Daniel Bobar is the chief of Life Skills Deerfield Beach. And when I arrived, they told me, we are full. How did you get a placement in this facility? And I was like, because my mom paid Dr. Bobar, and I was advocating. And I even asked, I said, I need another doctor. I need to speak to your chief. I don't have anything. This is a lie. This is being orchestrated. I have no drugs in my system. And so the Marchman Act, usually within 48 hours, I believe it is, you're allowed to be released if you don't meet criteria, unless a judge signs off for you to stay. What happens 10 minutes into me getting to life skills? My mom serves me, a court processor serves me with a court ordered petition where the judge says I have to stay there 14 days until my hearing.
Yeah. I've been there. That sucks. But you made it through.
Yeah. I'm like, this is insane. So I go through the intake. I'm telling them, I'm advocating. This is all on the notes. But they tell me you're just going to have to wait. So at that point, hired an attorney. I was ordered to go to AA classes. I was ordered to go to withdrawal classes. They didn't even have room in the facility, so they put me on the men's side of the rehab facility. And I was staying with two women who were both surviving heroin addicts, and one who tried to who actually successfully shot herself and survived. And they didn't have room for me, so I had to sleep in a room that was like supposed to be like a cleaning room. They pulled out a bed there and they put me there because it was at max capacity. So it's just more proof that Dr. Bolbar got paid to put me there, because there was people that was on a wait list for years to get into that facility, and I just happened to show up and be let into the facility. Like, no. And so, yeah, no. Just like that, with a phone call. And so luckily I was able to get another doctor. Her name is Dr. Despina. I told her what was going on. She believed me. She's like, I have to put on the notes, what the Marchman says, because it's court ordered. But, I was calling Javon. I was calling my lawyer. I was defending myself. But I had to attend all these drug rehab classes. Like, mind you, somebody who's never drank alcohol, and I'm over here and listening to people pass a coin saying that they're 30 days sober. And I'm like, what is people saying? I mean, I witnessed when I was there. It's the scariest thing being served. You're with cameras 24/7. You can't have the doors closed. People are watching you when you eat, when you sleep. You're with all these addicts. It's very traumatizing. I witnessed multiple times. The ambulance had to come. Somebody got sexually assaulted by a dumpster while I was there in the facility. It was horrific, the things that I saw, and I had to like suck up while I was
I
there.
have to ask you this question right now in the midst of all of this. This is all traumatizing. We both know that. The funny thing is all of the things that they lied about you being in there, they forced you to have to witness them, be around them, experience them. Like, this is so traumatic. Did you ever think your mother was capable of putting you through this?
No, I felt that was the worst experience of my life by far. To lose your freedom, to lose your rights, to feel like no one's listening to you, to lose your voice, I was scared. Like, I'm not from the streets. I've never been around drug addicts. Like, it's not to throw shade on them, right? Because they're sick and they're there to get help. But it's pretty scary to be around people who experiencing withdrawal. It's very like scary.
It's whatever
angry.
you went through during COVID to the 80 millionth power. These are people who are suffering, who can't even, anyone could have snapped, and you could have been forced to either become a victim of that or just a witness to it. Either one is traumatizing. And I all I can tell you is I know that God has his hand on you. Because I know what it's like to make it through that, and you handled it brilliantly. Brilliantly.
Yeah. I didn't want to feed it. What she wanted to do was break me. That's what she wanted to do. And I wasn't going to give her that luxury. I was not going to allow her to break me. I was not going to feed into Dr. Daniel Bolbar's narrative or her narrative. I wasn't going to be silenced or intimidated. I just kept advocating for myself. And in every session, advocating and saying why I was there and that I was falsely accused. And you'll see that in the notes, because I knew it. There was a paper trail. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna speak up, and there's gonna be a paper trail to back up what I'm saying, and the judge is gonna see it. So that's all I kept doing. Like when they would force me, and then they're like, if you don't participate, that it looks bad. So what did I do? I participated in anything. I started signing up for things I didn't even have to sign up for. I was going to everything. I was going to like yoga for like tremors. Like I was going for everything.
Did you do the painting class? Did they have a painting or art class?
I think they did. I did like a sound bath class. Then I did like I did everything. Like they were like, you don't have to go to this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to everything. I'm gonna prove nothing's wrong with me, and I'm gonna make sure to tell my story.